Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the live Team Alliance training session for Wednesday, October 17th. The time right now is approximately 8:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me go ahead and put on the charts so we can take a look and see what's going on. Those of you who are new, first and foremost, I would like to welcome you all. You guys have definitely made a wise choice by deciding to train with us. It tends to be an obvious choice at this point for most people out there who are, searching online and just looking around for ways to trade the market successfully. By the time you run into Team Alliance, you'll, soon realize that there is a science to actually trading and winning. And the science behind it has a lot to do with you, yourself. It's not just the market, although it may seem like it's the market, it's mostly you. So here you're going to learn a great deal of information about the market, but you're going to learn way more information about yourself. And the reason that that's important is because learning yourself and becoming self-aware lets you know what you need to work on the most. For most of us, it's patience. The majority of us have absolutely no patience whatsoever. And when you are someone who sees successful trading taking place by someone else, automatically you're thinking certain things that it's not. So we're going to give you clarity here. We're going to give you guidance and give you direction on what it is so that you have enough information to be able to determine whether or not this is something that you actually want to do. Some people are just not built to develop patience. I'll be honest with you. Some people just never get there. It takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of working on yourself to understand that it's not just the market. And through the training here, you'll get that understanding, but you got to execute it. It's not just about, listening to me talk and watching me trade. It's about taking the actual skills that are being taught to you and applying them in the market, the primary one being patience. All right, so I just want to start off like that because I do want you guys to have transparency as far as what you're involved with when you train here. You're going to be trained to win, but understand what that means. It means that you're going to have to be patient. And I cannot reiterate that enough. I know it's like, well, why you keep talking about patience? Because that's what you don't have probably, and that's what you need the most. So just being 100% honest with you out the gate, I believe is better than trying to mislead you into thinking that it's something that it's not. Oh, well, you can make $100 a day if you do this. No, it doesn't work like that. This market will tear you up real quick, and you'll lose all your money and quit. So you need real training, real direction and guidance, and that's what you're going to receive here. All right, enough of that jibber jabber. So let's get into what we're actually doing on the charts. Now, if you're new, videos number 92 and number 55 are the videos in particular that I want you to focus your attention on for now. Okay? You want to watch those videos and familiarize yourself with the actual process that we use to validate and dismiss or disqualify trades. Okay, we have an actual set of rules that we abide by. We don't break those rules at all. Those rules are there for us to get into certain trades, and on top of that, what we're going to cover tonight is going to position you to only do that during certain times in the market environment. Not certain times of the day, certain times that the market is behaving a certain specific way that we're looking for it to behave. And the environment that we're looking for out the gate is what, specifically? What environment do we need the market to be in before we do anything? Slow. That's it. It's very simple, yet it becomes difficult when we try to do other things aside from that, like cheat. Can't cheat on the market. Market will tear you up real quick, and it reminds you that you have to abide by the rules of the market. Don't think that you've mastered a skill and you figured something out that no one else has. Even I haven't. And I, probably commit the most time to doing this because I've been doing it for so long. So it's secondhand for me. But understand that it's going to take you a lot of time, and a lot of patience, and a lot of diligence for you to understand and comprehend that you do not deviate from what you're being trained to look at. Okay? So once we are in a slow environment in the market, and exactly what Adam just said, slow means moving 1 micropip at a time. So before you even ask, well, what do you mean by slow? 1 micropip at a time. The price is displayed right here. You see this gray box with the white number in it? Price is shown there. Price is shown up here where it says indicative price. And price is also displayed on the ticket when you pull up a ticket to look at your position that you are potentially going to enter into. Right up here where it says Nadex Indicative Index. This price represents the price of the market. Which market? The GBP USD, or the pound dollar. Okay? The price of the market is what we're concerned about, because we need to be able to always recognize during a slow moving environment, how is the price moving? That is what is defined as behavior. How is it moving? That's behavior. So once we're in a slow condition, and again, what is slow? 1 micropip of movement at a time. Okay? Once we're in that, we then begin to observe on the chart what the actual behavior is during the most important part of the binary. And within these 5-minute binaries, at what point is the most important part of the binary? When is that? The end. Exactly. The last minute of the binary. So, being that the last minute of the binary is so important to us, you need to recognize what type of market behavior is taking place when the market is moving slow. And that's what the play-by-play represents. The play-by-play is what you actually see me doing on the chart right now. I've been doing it since we've been on training. These rectangular boxes that are around the candles are me doing the play-by-play. We're observing how price is moving during the last minute of the binary. So far we've looked at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 binaries. And if you actually look at the way that the price moved just now on this one, the movement specifically on this one represents the way that we want price to move when we're in a trade. In addition to that, you also need to be aware of the speed in the market. So in addition to seeing how the price is moving, you need to be able to recognize when there is speed and acceleration in the movement. The reason that that's important is because if speed comes into the market and speed begins to turn into some type of erratic movement, which it typically always does, it means that there's too much speed in the market. And when there's too much speed in the market, it creates instability in the market. And the instability is when you see the jerking. It's when you see the reversing. All of the behaviors that you hear us talk about that we don't want to see. That is created by speed, too much speed being present in the market at the time. So the real way to simplify all of this, you know that we run this play-by-play. And let me just run through it real quick. Here we got move hold. We had move hold right here. This one right here represents reverse hold. And the reason that I know this is because not only because I was watching it at the time, but if you actually look at the way that the candle looks, the candle is showing the evidence of what the price did. It doesn't show you how it did it, meaning like you don't know how much speed was actually during this candle unless you were actually observing. When you look at the candles, you're looking at the after effect of what happened. You don't know how it happened, but you do know that it happened. So this was a reversal, and then the price did hold at the end. It could have been doing it slow, it could have been doing it fast. We don't know if we were not watching. This one, same thing. It reversed, and it held at the end. This one that we just watched, this one moved and held. And this also had some speed in it. You started to see the speed pick up towards the end of the binary. Why am I saying that? Because when you're observing the behavior, once you see this type of behavior consistently on the chart, and in other words, you're beginning to see more move and hold, less of this, you start seeing less of these, less of these, more of these. You see how it looks? How it looks, it's nice and solid. It's clean at the top, clean at the bottom. That's a clean move in one direction, and the price actually remained where it moved to. Move and hold. That's what that behavior represents. So the more of that we see in the market, the closer we're getting to what we are actually going to do as far as taking a trade. Now, let's apply the parameters here on this trade. You see how right there, now you see how we're looking, right? Did you see that speed burst towards the end just now? We were already 30 seconds into the last minute of this binary. We just looked at how the price just bursted. That speed took place after the fact. Okay, you saw that, right? Now, if this would have actually set up and been a valid trade, it means that the parameters would have been met, and it means that you would have had pricing on the option, you would have had enough distance away from the line. At the time that you're looking to enter, the speed would not have been more than 1 micropip at a time, okay? And there would have been no movement going back towards the line. What I'm going through in order is the parameters that you're going to learn about on video 92 and 55. I just went through them verbally just now. Distance away from the line, which is 5 micropips away from the line in whatever direction you're in. After that, you want to see that you have no movement going back towards the line. And if it does move, it should continue to move away from the line, meaning that if you're underneath the line, it should continue to move down without moving back towards the line, meaning that there's no back tick. And that answers your question, Jermaine, about what the back tick is. Back tick is when the price is moving back towards your strike or your line that you're trading. You don't want the price moving back towards your line when you're looking to get into a trade. So if you see the price moving back towards your line, it disqualifies that trade. But let's assume, once again, that we actually had the parameters met on that particular trade just now. If you look at the behavior is move and hold. But what did we actually witness while we were seeing how this actual candle was created? What did we see? You see what Gage just said? We saw speed. The speed accelerated at the end of the binary. In the last 30 seconds, it started to speed up. But also take note of the fact that the price remained where it held. It remained where it moved to. You see, so the market is still moving a certain way, although there's speed present. And this is why if you're looking to get into a trade, anything that disqualifies the trade, you respect and you don't take the trade. But let's say that you were in that trade. If that trade validated, it would have been a valid trade. Okay? Understand that. The reason that you don't take the first one that you see is because you don't know if the price is going to hold at the end. Because notice on this particular one, we just saw it. It's set up. Let's assume that this one actually validated, which it did not. It did not have enough distance away from the strike. So was this a valid trade? No, it was not. It was not valid at the time. But I'm saying let's assume that it was valid. Let's assume the parameters were met and you could have taken a trade. So now you have a valid trade, and what's the behavior? The behavior is move hold. What is that called? When you have a valid trade that does move hold at the end, what is that called? That is MR/MH. That's Mark's rule with move and hold. Mark's rule, move hold. Mark's rule means that the trade is valid, but you don't take the trade, you watch the trade. Let me repeat that. It's a valid trade, but you don't take it, you watch it. Meaning that you see how it ends. Why? Because you need it to end in move and hold in order to be Mark's rule. Someone asked me today, well, Mark, does it have to do move and hold to be Mark's rule? Yes. So Mark's rule is MR/MH. They're the same thing. Y'all understand me? And he just basically told them, he just told everybody who it was. Oh, man, y'all are hilarious. So Mark's rule is Mark's rule, move hold. Okay? And I knew that question was coming. So Matt is asking, how long does it stay in effect? Once you see an actual trade, because, all right, what you're asking right now, look, let me open up the ticket here. And the reason that you can't take this, basically, you don't have the distance away from your indicative. I mean, from your strike price. Do you got 5 micropips above right now? No. If you had 5 micropips above and you had pricing, you could have taken that trade just now. Well, why would you take that trade? Why would you take this trade? Tell me. What would give you confidence to take that right now? If it validated. What happened? Boom, there it is. Now, you see what Mike said and you see what Gage said. Mike said because it's slow. Gage said because it's Mark's rule. They're both correct. Because Mark's rule applies in a slow condition. We know that. Not only that, you got a Mark's rule here. And even though there was speed at the end, what was the behavior at the end? It was a hold, wasn't it? So if this had been a validated trade, this represents your Mark's rule right here. Boom. Gives you permission to take the next one that sets up. Look at what the next one did. Even though it didn't give you the distance away, did it hold? I'm just saying. So now you're starting to see that light bulb brighten up. Because you're like, oh, that's what he means to wait for Mark's rule. Yeah. You need to see Mark's rule in a slow market. You need those. So basically the protocol is this. If the market's moving too fast, you needed to do what? What you need to happen first? It needs to slow down. After it slows down, then what are you doing? Specifically. Bingo. Now you see what Campbell just said? Look at how he didn't say nothing else. He just said Mark's rule. So everything is summed up in Mark's rule in a slow condition. Everything that we do. When you hear me talking about progression, progression is leading up to Mark's rule. That's all it's doing. It's just showing you how you're getting to Mark's rule. It's literally showing you because you're looking at how the behavior is. You're seeing the behavior either jerk or hold at the end, and you're seeing, whatever else it might do before that. So there might be a reversal or there might be a stall before it hold at the end, or it just might jerk and not hold at the end, or it just might hold at the end. So you're seeing what the behaviors are. You know what they look like. Once you have Mark's rule in a slow condition, this right here gives you permission to apply the parameters and take the next valid trade that sets up. You see what I'm saying? So let me just give you a clue as to what you're going to just be conscious of. This is what likely happens. When you get a Mark's rule, what likely happens is if the market is going to give a trade to you, it's going to give it to you quickly. Like it'll come in the next few binaries. If it does not come in the next few binaries and the market does some other type of behavior, the market could potentially be switching up the speed cycle. And you've heard me talk about that in the past few training videos about speed, because the speed is moving in cycles. If there's some type of behavior that's not corresponding to this and is doing something else, after you see a validated move hold, because a validated move hold means Mark's rule. It means the trade set up and it held at the end. That's what Mark's rule is, right? So if you got that and then you see anything else that is adverse to that type of behavior, the market is giving you indication that it could be shifting. It could be moving back into the next speed cycle where it's starting to accelerate. That's why you're going to see some type of jerk or some type of reversal or something funny. But what happens is any of that behavior does what when you're applying the parameters? What does it do to the trade? Tell me specifically what it does to the trade. Bingo. Do y'all get it? You see what y'all are doing? So you already know that once you get Mark's rule, if the trade don't come, and this is actually answering, who was asking me that a little while ago? Was that Matt? I think that was Matt. Yeah, that was Matt. He was asking how long does it stay in effect. After you get Mark's rule in a slow condition, your trade should be coming soon. And if it doesn't come right away, you should at least still be seeing slow movement and holding. You want to still see that. You want to still see the progression taking place on the chart while you're waiting. If you start seeing jerking, if you start seeing reversing, and it starts looking funny, just be prepared for what's going to likely happen. It's going to shift cycles. Speed is going to come back in because that's what that jerkiness is showing you. The instability in the market, that's speed, that's momentum trying to make its way back into the market to disrupt the stability. And you're going to see it through the behavior. It's all relevant. Campbell's saying, what about stalls and jerk? What do stalls and jerk represent? Behavior that we don't want, right? So if you got, let's say you got a Mark's rule, then you start seeing stalls. Do you trade stalls? Simple answer. No. Now you see what Jorge just said? You don't trade them because they pop. I don't care if the trade validates. Let me go through this too, because this is actually answering some questions that people were having, and it's going to give clarity to what you should not be doing. If you're seeing a stall that sets up, meaning that the parameters are met, but it's stalled, and let me actually give you an example so you understand clearly what I'm talking about. Let's say I would rather use the real time, but we 3 minutes out, so we're not there yet. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until this clock goes down. When we get to 1:30, I'm gonna go through it, and I'm gonna give you an example of it, so that you can understand if the market is stalling and your parameters get met, you don't take it. Period. And I want you to understand what it will look like. A stall will look like, damn, I want to do it right now, but let me just wait. I'm going to just wait. I'm going to wait because I kind of want to show you in real time if it even might do it. Or at least I can give you a visual by just talking. So let me wait for this time to come down to minute 30. Yes, patience. And I'm glad that y'all are saying all of this right now. Campbell said a doji. Jorge saying a flat candle at first that explodes. Now that right there is a perfect description of it. Because let's know what he just said. Flat candle at first. At first. Meaning a stall could have been a big candle. Any big candle that you see could have stalled first. And we're talking about stalling when you're about to actually take a trade. And I know that, see, just the fact that you said that, Campbell, this is going to make more sense to you now. Watch. I'm going to break this down. And the damn market, of course, is moving fast now. Just because I want to give you an example. But I'm going to give it to you anyway. All right, so let's say, and where we at? We at a minute, right? All right, so we under the minute mark. Boom. You see how this candle just opened? Now, this opens up at 30.95.3. Now, if it's at 30.95.5, that's 5 micropips above this line. And just stay with me. I know, like, kind of ignore what you see the price doing right now. Just listen to what I'm saying. If the price was 5 micropips above this line, right, and it's just sitting there, when the candle opened, it's sitting at 5 micropips. You're looking at your pricing. You got nice pricing. You in the 70s, 78, 79, maybe 75. You're like, oh, I got favorable pricing. I got 5 micropips. Oh, there's no backtick. Of course there's no backtick because it's stalling. It's not moving at all, so it's not moving back. It's also not moving forward. In other words, it's not moving away from your line. If that price just remains there in that same spot, let's say for the whole 30-second period from 1 minute down to 30 seconds, during the last minute of the binary, and this might answer Mike Brown's question from earlier. I got to look back and see what his question was exactly again. But this might answer your question a little bit, Mike. If the price is stalling 5 micropips above the line, and you got pricing on the option, what you're going to see is that the pricing on the option, as you get closer to the 30-second mark, will begin to approach the threshold of 83. You'll see it, 75, 77, 79, 80, and you're seeing the time. The clock is running down while the pricing is increasing, getting closer to the threshold. But during that whole 30-second period, the pricing on the option is favorable. So in your mind, you're like, oh, this looks good. That's a valid trade. We got 5 micropips away. I got favorable pricing. Oh, man, I'm taking that. Oh, let me wait until there's 31 seconds left. At 31 seconds, your price at 81. But the whole time, it stayed 5 micropips above the line. That is a stall. The reason you don't take that is because if you take that, you still got to sit there for the last 30 seconds of that candle, of that binary. And during that last 30 seconds, that price can do a lot. The fact that it was stalling in the first place is already the signal to you to not do nothing. Don't take that trade. I don't care that it validated. I don't care you got 5 favorable pricing. I don't care that you didn't have a backtick. I don't care about none of that. Leave that trade alone. If it's stalling and stuck at that 5 micro, I don't care if it was stuck at 7. It could be stuck at 7 micropips above. It could be stuck at 8. If it does not move away from your strike, it is a stall. Is that clear? If it does not move away from your strike, it is a stall, and you do not take the trade. I don't care if you have favorable pricing on the option. Leave that trade alone. It is a disqualification if it is stalling. Period. Does that make sense? All right. Okay, cool. Now, let me go back because I don't think that answered Mike's question fully. So Mike said in the last minute from 59 to 31 seconds to make a decision, go or no go. Yes, the answer to that is yes. Looking good for a trade from 59 seconds to 33 seconds. It was a perfect move and hold. Down 6 micro pips. All right. My question to you is when that trade set up, between the 59 and the 33 seconds, did it move down to the 6 micro pips away from your strike? Where was it positioned? Okay, so it actually moved down to that point. Yes? Okay. And let me see what else you said. At second 28 to 0, it reversed back up 4 micro pips. It was a winner. However, that candle now looks like a jerk. Was it a move and hold, or is it a jerk, and would you have taken a trade? That is a jerk, and the only reason that I would have taken a trade is if there was already Mark's rule. If that is the first time that I'm seeing that, I can't take the trade. Because you need the market to prove to you that not only are you in the right environment, but the behavior is present. So if your behavior is present, you'll get a Mark's rule. Yes. If your behavior is present, you'll get a Mark's rule. If the behavior is not present, it'll turn into a jerk. And now that's not Mark's rule. That's just another jerk on the chart during a slow condition from, at the time that you're looking. This is why Mark's rule is so important. Mark's rule opens the door. It's like a key to profits. Because when you have the market set up, validate, and give you the behavior all in one, that's basically what it's doing. This is what the market is doing for us. It's giving us everything we need in one shot. So think about that. If the market gave us everything we needed, boom, it's there. You saw it. Now you see that behavior is present and it's in the right environment. So if you have the right behavior in the right environment and the trade was validated by the market, what do you think is likely to take place again if the market is going to remain in that condition? What's likely to take place again if the market remains in that condition? The same thing. A valid trade that wins, that gives you move and hold. Basically, another trade that comes. And you've heard me say it many times. They come in clusters. This is why your thinking should never be needle in a haystack. Don't think in terms of, oh, man, I missed it. If it's on the chart, you're not missing anything because it's either going to come again or it's not. If it doesn't come again, it just doesn't come again. It happened to be a needle in a haystack. When it does come again, we know that the market is stable and is giving us money. Either way, it's your job to just go through process, apply the protocol, and wait. And if the market presents it to us, it's there. And if it does not present it to us, we don't do anything. And and this is what I was talking about earlier in the training. This is what becomes difficult for people to do, to have that level of patience. It's like, well, basically you're saying, so we got to wait for the market to give us a trade? Yeah. Mike is saying, so would you have taken the trade? The same trade that you took, you mean? Only if Mark's rule was already present. It was. All right, how far back was it? How close was that trade to the Mark's rule trade? $15. So 2 or 3 binaries back, or 3 or 4 binaries back, something like that. What was the behavior right before that trade? What was the behavior on the last minute of the binary, the one right before that? You don't know? That would help. That right there would have helped me a lot, because depending on what the behaviors were after Mark's rule, behavior is always going to give you indication of what the market may be doing as far as shifting. If you were still in a slow condition, and maybe the trade, not even the trade, but just the overall market condition still was slow, and you're not seeing jerking or reversing on your behaviors at the end, that's going to give you more confidence to just stay there and wait, and when it comes, take it. Like if that trade sets up, you just take it. If unless you're seeing that the market could potentially be shifting cycle through bad behavior. Like I don't feel comfortable taking a trade right after a jerk. If I see jerk behavior and then I see a trade set up, even if I had a Mark's rule on the chart, I don't like that. I want to see move whole again, because it's giving me more confidence. Just like this one, I wasn't even looking at this. Did this one right here have pricing on it? I wasn't even paying attention to this. Campbell said it did. Okay. Yeah, Mike, he doesn't remember specifically when the time was. That would have helped, because we kind of could have looked to see on the chart what did things look like just in the overall environment. But the fact that you took the trade and you already had Mark's rule before that, I would have done the same thing more than likely. The only thing that I'm saying would have prevented me from doing it is if I saw jerkiness or I saw speed enter into the market before that trade. Like I don't want to take a trade right after a jerk. Oh yeah, exactly, Joel. Why didn't I think of that? Mike, check your email confirmation to see when that trade was. The confirmation that you get from Nadex in your email. Y'all just let us ramble on. Ain't nobody say nothing. Joel's like, let him check his email. All right, so that he's saying that answered this question. Okay. All right. Oh, he said he deleted it. You delete your confirmations? Why? Especially, and you won the trade. I definitely wouldn't delete that. Oh, because it's on demo? Mike, don't delete the trades no more. Keep your email confirmations. Yeah, definitely. Exactly what Matthew just said. Bingo. That's the prize right there. The proof. Yeah, do not delete them. Post them in the chat, like Jay Carly said. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, very good. And yes, you can also look in your trade history. We had some nice synergy today. Synergy also means when we don't do nothing. I want y'all to know that. Yeah, could be, and I understand that. And it's cool. It's cool. When we don't, oh, you caught that, Mike. Yep, I know, man. I know. He's like, nah, y'all ain't gonna talk about me. Shit. The cat ate it. Cat ate my email. Yeah, no, but it's all good because when you do post your confirmations, it not only helps other students, but it's going to help you also because we're going to talk about the trade. Like when we take trades and we kind of talk our way through, if there's something that someone did that needs to be addressed or rectified that will help the student body, that definitely is something that we need to talk about. Definitely. So, you know, anytime you guys have a mishap or you did something you didn't understand why you did it, you took a trade and you felt like, oh, well, as soon as I took it, it was a back tick. You know, whatever it is, post it. Post it so everyone can see. Because the first question that somebody's gonna ask you is what I asked you. Did you already have Mark's rule? That's a powerful part of the training also. You know, when we're in a group chat, we're holding one another accountable. And you don't realize, you know, how important that is until you actually engage and participate in it. Being held accountable for what you're doing is crazy. Because it means that you can't do, like, craziness. Someone's going to call you out on if you're doing something crazy. You know, like taking 4 trades. I won't say any names. You know, there was a time where we would take mad trades. And this is something really where you want to take fewer trades because you want there to be more precision with the trade that you end up with. To the point where it's like, man, that was it. It's like you want every trade that you take to feel like, yes, that was it. Because you did everything properly according to the protocol. So when you do anything that deviates away from that, you put yourself at risk to become vulnerable to what the market can do. The market can do a lot to you. So instead of, you know, putting yourself in a vulnerable position, you're keeping yourself in line and in sync with what the market is willing to give. If the market ain't willing to give, we stay in sync with that also. We don't do nothing. Like we literally just don't take no trades. If the market is saying no, I feel like slapping everybody around today, we ain't getting slapped. It ain't gonna be us. Yes, exactly. You'll see what Joel said. This is what Matthew was talking about last night. You trade less and you scale up your contract size. Quality over quantity. Bingo. As your contract size goes up, your number of trades goes down. It needs to go down. And exactly what Mo just said. Feels good to see that price moving whole. It feels beautiful to see the trade do everything that you kind of knew it was going to do because you position yourself with what the market is doing. Understand why we win. The reason that we win our trades is because we position ourselves with the market. You don't realize how powerful that is yet. Who decides who wins a trade? Think about it. Who's the decision maker as to who wins? All day, the market. So if you position yourself to be in sync with what the market is doing, and more importantly than being in a trade is not being in a trade. Most of the time, the market is telling you to not do anything. That's being in sync with the market. Oh, no, the market is too much jerking. Nope, the market got too much speed. Nope, I didn't get Mark's rule. Nope, 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 nope. Stay out. And it's very easy to answer the questions that come up now. Well, Mark, would you have taken that trade? What was my question? Was there Mark's rule? What was my next question? What did the binary before it do? You see what I'm saying? I'm asking market questions. I'm asking, well, what was the market doing for me to take the trade? Because I'm not going to take the trade on my own just because I feel like taking the trade. The market had to give me permission to take that trade, period. Here's one that's setting up. Look at this. Now, you said you got 4 micro pips. Ain't enough. You need 5. And I would want to see it go to 6. From here, I want to see it go up 2 more before I feel comfortable taking that trade. And look at your pricing. You see, it's almost there, but not quite. See how good it had looked at first? It looked like it was going to do it, right? Look at what it ended up doing. Look at the discipline. Look how easily I just stayed out of that trade. I didn't get excited. Ooh, I got good pricing on that. Well, damn, it's only 4 micro pips. What the hell, I'll take it anyway. And if you took that trade, look what happened to you. Market just make you look silly. You're not in sync with what the market is doing. I'm trying to tell you, man, this is why we don't lose. This is why you're not going to lose. Backtick saves lives, parameter saves lives. It was priced out. Yes, that was excellent to see. That was a very good example, Mike. Very good example. And then look at where it ends up on the chart. Now, if you go back, you don't know what it did unless you were here. Let me get my where's my thing at? My rectangle. This is why we observe the real-time market behavior. You need to be looking at this thing as it's happening. If you go back on the chart and look at this, you would not have known that it did what it did before it ended up doing this. All this looks like, oh, it moved. It was a move hold. It was a move hold going down. Before that, it looked like it could have went up. Before that, it set somebody up and they took it. Somebody thirsty took that trade. Just because they had pricing. But not here. We ain't doing that. We do not play with this market. The market gives off pristine, beautiful trades, and it gives off enough of them for you to profit all year. All year long to profit. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like a successful business. A cash business. Treat it as a business. Don't deviate. Little Wicks, let me see what Campbell just said. Little Wicks, big body are okay for move hold. When you're looking, you know, if it's holding at the end for the most part, yes. Sometimes the little tiny wicks are not even a micro pip. They might be a fraction of a micro pip. Matthew said, you want them latte sipping trades. Yes, exactly. then a winning trade would not go through the strike price, would it? No. In that example, no. Because if it was positioned above the strike, it got to end above the strike when you enter. Oh my gosh. I got to make the updated version of that video. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Right, Dan. Yeah, your price needs to remain above if you're buying or below if you're selling your strike price. Bingo. Yep. Let me make sure. What was it that I had wanted to cover? I don't want to miss that. Here's an example of being priced out. You want a minute? You already priced out. Price is below 17 at the beginning of that last minute. You priced out. Ain't nothing to do. Nothing to do. Then you just observe what the behavior is and see if the market is still presenting the same type of behavior that you want to see. Yeah, Gage, soon you're going to be doing them big money videos. Right in the truck. Can you imagine? That's a good video right there. I can visualize that. And you see what your behavior still was. You see how the behavior's still there? See that? Even though it wasn't a valid trade, your behavior's still there. It's holding. So, all right, this is what I wanted to address because this has been asked of me constantly, actually. When to trade, like when to pull the trigger when you're letting the clock run down. And it's a good question. I wanted to make sure that I addressed that on tonight's training. Dan is saying why 1783 as option price levels. Those numbers, like that came through study. Took me a while on the Nadex platform to apply what I was doing with the market to the platform. Like this is why you in every training and anything that you hear me talk about regarding Nadex, you hear immediately I'm going to separate the market from Nadex. Just like I talk about the different markets that you can trade. Like we're looking at the pound, but you got the euro, you got the Aussie, you got the dollar yen. The fact that you're dealing with a market that's separated from the binaries means you have to understand how the market is moving. You got to understand how the market is moving, first and foremost. The market eventually moves with stability and smoothness. It doesn't move herky-jerky, fast, and erratic. It moves that way also, but it also moves smooth, clean, stable. It does that. The fact that it does that means when you time and synchronize your action with that behavior, on the Nadex platform specifically, you'll see mathematically the numbers on the option pricing also syncs up with the market. And I didn't know that at first. I had to study. I had to just look at it over and over again. Like, I'm talking about hours, and not even hours a day. If I slept 5-6 hours a day, the rest of the time I was on the chart. And this took place for months and months and months of me just looking at Nadex, looking at the market, looking at how the algorithm and the way that everything is set up on the Nadex platform on 5-minute binaries. And again, I didn't look at any other market. I looked specifically at the pound. This is how all the parameters came up. So I realized 17 and 83 on both sides of the strike price had significance. There was always an indication of stability at those numbers, just through my observation. That's where those numbers came from. And they're not used to lock in those numbers. Those are actually used to help you with your timing into the trade. That's what they're used for. Yes, very good. That's exactly what I'm trying to do, and y'all keep asking me stuff that throws me off. But it's okay, because we're gonna come right back to it, because it all ties in together. So the 83 and the 17 that you're asking about, that was born out of observation. When all parameters line up, those are the average prices. It's not that they're the average prices. They are the prices of the option that give you the best opportunity to synchronize your timing. Like, I had to look at the clock. Remember that you're dealing with binaries. So you got to look at what is the pricing on the options when there's stability in the price of the market and when you're approaching 30 seconds on the clock. You got to figure that out. That's what I had to do. So I literally just sat in front of the chart for months and just did that and figured it out. So through my observation, those are the numbers that came repeatedly. Those are the numbers that just kept repeating themselves. I'm like, okay, so if I use those numbers as the threshold, I know that, all right, for one, I'm never going to earn any less than the $17 of profit. Okay, boom, that's established. Also, at those numbers, it's helping me to have precision with the timing. So I can watch this clock, and the closer that I get to those numbers, it's getting me closer to the 30-second mark on the clock. This is what I had to bear witness to myself. I had to actually see this take place. So what I saw was that when the price is moving stable and it is in sync, the movement of the market is in sync with the Nadex platform. Those numbers, the distance away from the strike being 5 or more, all of those things keep you right in that narrow path that you need to be on in order to win the trade by the time the clock runs out. That's basically what led up to all of the parameters. Even price moving back, like the back tick, same thing. The back tick is showing you that there is a level of instability still present in the market. So you don't want to be in the market if there's any level of instability. That's why the back tick disqualifies the trade. You see, I wouldn't have just known that. I'm not just pulling them out of a hat. I'm looking at the market. I'm studying the market and looking to observe and see what the market is doing. The market is creating all of these parameters. That's where everything came from. All the rules that have been set were created by the market. It's just through my observation of it. And I was able to actually take them piece by piece, one piece at a time, and then apply them on the chart to actually trade profitably. And that's when I just started winning all my trades. Every time I did that properly, I win. And anytime I deviated away from it, I almost lost. And that kind of has been like the history for me since May of last year. Where it's like I win my trades, period. I ended up trading much less. There was a time in the beginning where I was taking 3, 4, 5, 6 trades a day and winning all of them. And I began to realize, I'm like, wait, hold up. I don't think you can just be winning 5, 6 trades every day. I don't think that that's going to happen. So let me just fall back a little bit. Then I started trading less. Then I was like, oh, well, now that I'm trading less, let me just scale up my contracts. Then that's how the scale up came. This is how the spreadsheet was born. Like everything came out of just action, things that I was doing. Oh, well, let me do this. Did it. It was effective. All right, now that's what we do. So I also begin to realize that when you don't do what is now parameter and rule, that's when you'll put yourself in position to lose. That's what I also realized. So that's why, the patience and the discipline is so reinforced in our training, because you need it. The discipline to not deviate and the patience to wait for only the best opportunities used in everything that we're using now. Mark's rule. Like the simple condensed version of everything that we do is Mark's rule on the chart in a slow condition. Once you have that, then you can take a trade. And even then, you still want to observe behavior, make sure that your behavior is not speeding up and starting to jerk and do a bunch of other stuff, which your parameters are going to keep you out of anyway. You're not going to enter into a trade with that type of behavior anyway, even after Mark's rule. But again, we know that the market, when it gives off trades that we want, it does it in abundance. It's not a needle in a haystack. So it's not a one-time event where you got to feel like you missed it. Oh, I didn't catch the trade. Damn, I missed it. Nope. That's when the market is giving it up, it is not doing that. It's giving us plenty of trades. That's why you need to be patient enough to just wait for that environment to come and take the trades. My pleasure, Dan. All right, what else we have in here? Watching how long before the previous binaries. Price out to help with feeling confident about when to enter. No, I think I'm going to do a whole training on that, because I know that that's what people end up having a hard time with. I know that already. And I think that, yeah, I did. I went in, I delved into it like a little bit. I think a training dedicated to that is just going to like kind of nullify any type of confusion about it once and for all, because you're going to realize that once again, Mark's rule, move whole, is even going to kill that. It's going to kill that confusion. Like literally. Anyone who ends up taking a trade following the protocol, I want you to pay attention to when you enter the trade. When you enter and what the price is. Jerry said I had the best question ever. How does this work with taxes? Did I not do a whole video on that? Look in the education series. Yeah, there is one. Surely is. It's very good. You don't be on every live. See, that's why you need to be on the lives, because you would know that. But what you want to do, you want to be hard-headed, right? And not come to... That's Jerry. That's my young shooter right there. Jerry, how have you been doing with your trading? How many trades have you been taking? Matter of fact, unmute. I ain't talked to you in a minute. Unmute, sir. Where you at? Yeah, you trying to get away. Don't try to get away. I hear you, man.
Hello?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I was like, how do I supposed to unmute?
So what's up, man? What's going on with you?
None. I just been chilling. I only take one trade. I try to take one trade a day.
Okay. You took a trade today?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I wasn't really in the market like that.
Okay, so you didn't really have time to do the study and all of that?
Yeah, ain't really. I had, cause I just went to sleep.
Yeah, that sounds like some real young stuff right there. Just go take a nap real quick.
Take a quick nap.
So how have your what have you been like averaging as far as trades? Like you shoot for one a day, of course, but what have you been doing? How many trades have you won consistently recently?
About I say about over 30.
Yes, I see. This is what I want to hear.
Yeah,
that's what I want to
hear. I haven't lost yet.
But
lately I haven't really been like on demo. I focus more on live right now. So like the because I know the prices are different and stuff like that. So when when I'm going live again, I'll be patient enough to wait for that price to be right.
Right.
And for everything to be congruent with each other. So, yeah.
So what are you finding? Are you having any difficulties, or like is it smooth for you? Like you understand what's going on and what you're waiting for, and you just wait for that?
Man, I feel like I can trade 300 contracts right now.
Bang, bang. Very good.
Yeah, I'm confident. Yeah.
Excellent.
Actually, more confident than ever.
I know.
Sometimes I have my
I could tell by the questions you be asking me. So.
Yeah.
Because you're not asking losing questions. You asking, all right, let me make sure I'm just doing this the way I should be doing it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Very good, man.
Yep.
All right, man. So that's it. I just wanted to holler at you real quick.
Yep. Have a good one. Thanks.
Yep. Good stuff. See, I like that folks be in the background just working, just doing what they are supposed to do, and that's it. Again, just maintain discipline, just be patient, wait for the market to give us what we need. And you'll be shocked at how many trades you end up with over time. And you just get used to that, and then, you just follow the spreadsheet, scale up your contract size. Next thing you know, it's like, oh, I'm at 10 contracts. Mind you started with one contract. You just work your way up and get to where you need to be and do it slowly. And mind you, what we're calling slow is not slow. Because a year is a lot. Like you can do so much within a year's time, it's ridiculous. You literally can put yourself at a position of full-time income trading here in a year. And that's for real. And that's if you are not good. Like if you're just mediocre. Yes, out the gate. Or like Matthew said, 8 months. And if you didn't listen to that training yet yesterday, number 210, you got to watch that. That is a must-watch training. Powerful testimonial from Matthew. So there's a lot of good, stuff that's waiting for all of you guys. You can put yourself in position to do whatever it is that you want to do. And this is the way to go about doing it. It really is. It's like a ticket to freedom. So we after 10 o'clock. If you guys have any other questions that you wanted to ask, yes, everyone has it within themselves. There it is. Dan said he did all that in 8 months. Car salesman to a trader. Sure did. And was on the low. Like, Matthew was not one of the people that were in the group chat all the time. But he's there, though, in the background. Just off the radar, just working, doing it. And there's actually a lot of people like that. That's why sometimes it'll be brought to my attention. I'll get a text out of nowhere. Mark, I've been actually doing this for X amount of time, and I'm here now. I'm at 25 contracts now. And I'm like, what do you mean you're at 25 contracts? Like when did this happen? They just be in the background working. So it's powerful stuff, man. Powerful stuff. Patience and discipline is the key. So did you guys have any other questions? J. Carter, you will never go incognito. Cut it out. It's not even in your DNA to do that. Yes, that's all we do is train. That's it. Good stuff. Yeah, they was getting at you today in the group chat, right? Uh-huh. Yeah, you better listen to J. Carly. I'm telling you. You better listen when she be talking. Pay attention. Yeah, you got thick skin. You be all right. Yes, indeed. Large contract fills. Your contracts, for the most part, get filled. The only time that I really ever had issues was like when I was close to 100 contracts. Or I should say like over 100. Even up to 100, you're going to get filled for the most part. You're going to get filled. Don't even worry about that. And, fills and stuff like that, that's a good problem to have. That means that your contracts are that large. But again, getting up to larger contracts is not something that's like, oh, wow, look at how many contracts he has. No, you're going to get there. It's more so just remaining focused and taking the good trades. That's it. You master this part of it, whatever contract size you want to be at, you'll get to. Trust me. Bottom line is that when you take a trade, you win your trade. That's it. Exactly what Matthew just said. Contract size doesn't matter because the process does not change. Nuggets, man. Why live price is different from demo? The live is showing you real liquidity in the market. It's actually showing actual available contracts that are on the exchange. It's not a demo like where it's a fabricated number. The demo is kind of designed to smooth out the people that are practicing. Live is real contracts. Like that's money that's actually out there that you're trading against someone else on the opposite side of the trade. There's a lot of money on the Nadex platform. You know, just so that you guys are aware. It's a lot of people trading 5-minute binaries, and there's a lot of new people that are beginning to trade 5-minute binaries. It's a lot. You know, you want to be nosy, call up Nadex and ask them. Ask them, like, you know, how many people are trading on 5-minute binaries, stuff like that. They'll tell you. It's crazy. And within the overall industry, it's very small, relatively speaking, because Forex is huge. So there's way more people trading in the Forex market than there are, you know, trading binaries, and specifically trading on Nadex. But Nadex is just continuing to grow, like steady growth. More and more people coming onto the platform because the opportunity to make money is here. Anywhere there's an opportunity to make money quick, people are going to be there. And it's it's a platform where when you understand it, you easily could take somebody money who don't know what they're doing. It's very easy to do. People that don't understand the market, that's who lose against us. We do understand the market. We're going to take the trade and win. That's it. That's how it goes. Nope. I don't trade. I don't trade nothing other than the pound on Nadex. That's all I do. And again, like it's really, I kid you not, like when you're doing one trade a day, and I'm not even a lot of times doing one trade a day. There's sometimes I go for days with no trades. None. Then I might come, you know, a day might come, I might get a trade, maybe two. Then I might skip another day. Then another day come, I get another trade. By the time that the week is over, I'm anywhere between 4 and 7 trades for the week. I'm thinking I was doing one a day. End up taking 6 trades, 7 trades for that week. Just taking the best trades. That's why I was asking you that the other day about how many trades do you think are available based on what we do. If all you did was just wait for that one trade every day to come, how many times do you think that would actually happen? It's way more than you actually think it is. So you really just have to work on your patience and just remain focused and let the market give you the money. And just build your contracts up slow. Maury said, how many contracts per trade? You mean me? Is that what you're asking, Maury? I'm not. It depends. It depends. Sometimes if I'm in the market and I'm taking a trade that I know that I'm going to show y'all, I'll be like, I cut it in half a lot of times. Just because I don't want to show y'all what I really be trading sometimes. Because I don't want people to think like, oh my God, you know, and feel like they can't get there. I don't want that. I would rather you know, just apply the training over and over and over again. Start with one contract and build up. Just do that. You know, if you still think 40 contracts is a lot, you definitely don't want to see what I really be trading. Because it might discourage some people, and I don't want to do that. You know, so it's not about me. It's about everyone who's training here, because the bottom line is that you're going to get to wherever you want to be. If your goal is to get to 50 contracts, you're going to get there. If you commit to training, you'll get there within a year. Even less. We were just talking about the other night, 3 contracts a week. 3 contracts a week, you'll be at 50 contracts in 36 weeks. Just doing that. 3 contracts a week is half of one a day. That's one trade every other day. What would happen if you just averaged that and scaled up your contract size according to the spreadsheet? 50 contracts in 36 weeks. Boom. Somebody just asked about the spreadsheet. I see Jay Carly threw it in the group chat. Jeff, look in the group chat, and you should see what Jay Carly just put in there. She just shared the spreadsheet in there. All right, very good. Good stuff. All right, did y'all have any other questions? All right, very good. Another great training, as usual. Those of you who are new, once again, make sure that you begin with videos number 92 and number 55. Focus on those two in particular. And once you complete those, the rest of the videos are listed right there. Joel just shared it and Jay Carly just shared it. Video number 175, 193, 202, 206, 207, and then tonight's training. Well, last night's training, 210. All right? In that order. And that pretty much covers it all. Make sure that you stay connected also in the group chat. Group chat is where the fire remains lit. Any questions that you have, you can throw in there. We run the play-by-play from the group chat. We engage and talk about the market in the group chat. And we all stay close and hold one another accountable from the group chat. So you definitely want to get into the group chat if you're not there. I see Matthew starting to hang out in there too a little bit more. That's nice. I like that. Because he has a wealth of valuable nuggets that he can share. So I definitely appreciate that. Aside from that, we'll be back on training tomorrow night. This training should be available within the next 40 minutes or so. In the playlist is going to be number 211, I believe. And that pretty much covers it. Jay Carly said also number 169 and number 171 talks about stalls. So 2 more solid videos if you wanted to delve into stalling. A lot of powerful training. You look in the playlist, they kind of tell you what they are. So if you got a question about something in particular, when you look in the playlist, there's a training for it. And it's in the title, so very, very helpful. All right, everybody have a good night. I'll see you guys on training tomorrow, and I'll see y'all shortly in the group chat. Everybody take care. Peace. Good night, everybody.